Hello, this is Todd Luck, and this is a review of Carson of Venus, Eye of Amtor #2. This is the second in a 3-issue miniseries from American Mythology, part of their Edgar Rice Burroughs universe. Edgar Rice Burroughs, of course, the creator of Tarzan and John Carter, and this particular miniseries is going to tie into novels that will be coming out, actual prose novels that will be connected with each other about the different Burroughs properties. So you're going to have this continue into a novel called Carson of Venus, Edge of All Worlds, and then that's going to continue into novels with Tarzan and John Carter. And so this is a big deal. This is really the first time something like this has been done, and so this is actually going to be a comic that officially counts in the novels. And so let's get started with the cover here. And I like it. It's a simple idea of Carson parachuting down into this monster. But it's effective. I mean, Carson and the monster are nice and big. They're well colored. It really catches your eye. I mean, this isn't, probably the coolest monster Burroughs ever created. But, it's still interesting. It's definitely one of his more freaky creations. So the same art team that was on the first issue is, of course, on the second. And I don't think they gel quite as well on this one, but it's still pretty good. It's still pretty consistent with the first issue, but there are just some moments here and there where, some curious artistic decisions are made. Like, for instance, Carson and Princess Douari are missing a face on this first large panel, which is kind of a weird choice. And here's a scene where Carson is floating down into a canopy of trees, and the text describes the trees having bright blue leaves, and this is curiously colored, very purple, and doesn't look quite as nice as it could. And obviously the artist could have put more detail into this. I think he was kind of relying on the colorist. I think there could have been some better decisions made on there, but it's just kind of minor nitpicks here and there. Overall, the art is still solid for this issue. And so this issue, story-wise, is basically kind of the mushy middle of the story. The first issue set up the premise, and the last issue is going to have the payoff. This is just something that you have to kind of go through to go from one end of the story to the other. It's well done, but it's, pretty predictable paint by numbers sort of stuff. The first issue establishes Carson needs to go get some items for this bad guy who's holding his friends hostage, and so the bad guy can create a telescope and see what's outside of Venus. This is pretty significant because Venus is covered in clouds and the natives don't know what's out there. They can't see the other planets. And of course this is going to be significant because the novels that this is leading into will tie in the different worlds, Mars and Venus and all that together. So it'll be interesting to see how this telescope, the Eye of Amtor, ties into that. And that's the big, kind of question that you'll get paid off next issue. But this issue is just Carson. He's going out to get these items, and he's facing some monsters on the way. Princess Douari appears briefly, but that's kind of it, though. I mean, it's basically just Carson dealing with some monsters. Not a lot of characterization going on, no plot twists. It's very, again, straightforward, paint by numbers sort of stuff, but it's done solidly. If you like the first issue, you're going to like the second issue. But really, the last issue is what you're waiting on. And of course, I will be reviewing that when I get it. And there is still the backup story with Victory Harbin in the back, and this is a new character that will be appearing in the novels, and it's still cryptic. I'm not sure what's going on, but again, the characters don't know what's going on either. It's basically just them trying to figure it out. It's well drawn. It's by Mike Wolfer. It looks great, but again, it's just one of those stories where you're really waiting for the last issue for the payoff. So overall, this is a solid continuation for this mini-series, but I really recommend starting with the first issue or just getting them all at one time once it's over. They could collect this in trade. I'm not sure what the plans are. You know, usually trades are bigger than 3 issues, so I'm not sure. Maybe they'll throw in the other Carson of Venus miniseries, Realm of the Dead, which is also coming out right now in with this when they collect it. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about trades. And a couple side notes. I've mentioned in the past that Boss Fight Studios is working on a 3 3/4 inch Tarzan figure, and that's going to be a collectible figure that you're going to be able to order. And so that's going to go up for pre-order on August 27th, which is Tarzan Day. That's actually the anniversary of when Tarzan was first published in 1912. So looking forward to that. It is going to be a little bit on the expensive side. They currently have the Zorro up that's in that same hero series, and he's going to run you about, I think it was about 31 bucks with shipping. So just keep in mind it's going to be a little on the high side, but it is a limited edition collectible figure, and it's going to be really nice, have a lot of articulation and accessories, and you're going to be able to swap parts with other figures and stuff like that. So also check out the Comic-Con at Home video chat that was done by Edgar Rice Burroughs Inc. on YouTube. It actually has a lot of interesting things in there, including pictures of a new version of Moon Maid that's going to be coming from American Mythology, some tidbits about the novels that are coming up. They're going to be set in 1950. John Carter's is actually going to be dealing with him reacting to Edgar Rice Burroughs' death, and it's going to have various different characters from previous novels that sound very interesting. All of them sound actually really good. I'm actually pretty tempted to pick them up. Mike Wolfer is actually going to be doing a backup feature in the Tarzan novel, which will be Victory Harbin in Caspak, which is the land that time forgot. And so he'll be writing that, and you know what a big land that time forgot guy Mike Wolfer is. So that's pretty awesome. And he's actually going to be able to put his character from the comics, Sita the Savage, in there. So that's pretty cool. So she's going to be officially canon. As far as if the comics count or not, other than this one, which is official canon, Wolfer said that he does the American Mythology stuff as close to canon as possible. So in other words, Wolfer is writing them like they're in canon. But as far as the novels go, they probably aren't. They probably won't be referred to until they are, probably. But he is writing them pretty consistently. And so the stuff they were saying about how like Victory Harbin will be getting between the worlds sounds very consistent with what they've been doing in the American Mythology comics, like in Fear on Four Worlds and things like that. So I think, you know, this idea of the connections between all these different worlds that Burroughs wrote has been in the works for a long time. And it'll be very exciting to kind of see that come to fruition. So anyway, that's all I got. Like and subscribe for more videos. And until next time, see ya.